biggest reason AI automations fail isn't the AI. It's that most people are building them backwards. They see a cool AI agent demo on YouTube or LinkedIn post showing some workflow that looks like magic, and they immediately get that little hit of FOMO. They think, I need this in my business right now. So they start with the tool, not the bottleneck, not the workflow, not the actual problem they're trying to solve. And that's where things start going wrong, because when you build automation that way, it can look impressive at first, it can even technically work, but that doesn't mean it's actually useful enough to last. Here's the thing, most AI automations don't fail with some dramatic crash. They fail quietly. At first you're excited, it runs, it looks like everything's working, it feels smart, and it feels like progress. But then reality kicks in. You start noticing edge cases, you start tweaking prompts, you start fixing logic, you start checking outputs and stepping in to clean things up. A lead gets routed wrong, a ticket gets misclassified, a summary misses something important, a customer gets the wrong response. And after a while you realize something. This isn't actually saving me the kind of time I thought it would. So now you're stuck babysitting your automation, you're burning time trying to improve it, you're running through tons of credits, and eventually, because it still isn't useful enough or reliable enough, you just shut it off. That's the real graveyard of AI automation. Not broken tools, not dramatic failures, just a bunch of automations that looked cool for a few days, but were never actually useful enough to keep. But why does this happen? Well, after seeing hundreds of automations play out, I noticed the same pattern again and again. Whether with a solo founder, a small team, or a bigger company experimenting with AI, when these automations failed, it usually came back to the same thing. They never fully understood what they were automating, why they were automating it, or what kind of system actually fit the job. That's the real problem. Not that AI doesn't work, not that automation doesn't work. It's that people are building these systems backwards. They're starting with the new shiny thing instead of with the friction they're actually experiencing. And honestly, it's not surprising, because if you spend 5 minutes on YouTube or LinkedIn, it can look like AI is about to run your entire business. You see agents writing code, workflows summarizing meetings, systems responding to leads, bots updating CRMs, and some of that is real. But the part most people don't realize is this. Just because something can be automated doesn't mean it should be automated. And just because you got it working once doesn't mean you built a good system. That's a huge difference. And after seeing this happen over and over again, the reason became pretty clear. When automations fail, it usually comes back to three things. People automate the wrong thing, they don't understand the workflow deeply enough, and they use the wrong kind of system for the job. That's really it. Basically, they start with a shiny demo instead of a real bottleneck. They automate a process they haven't run enough times manually to understand the edge cases, and they use AI where a simple workflow tool would have been better, or rigid workflow logic where an AI agent and a human check would have made more sense. And this isn't the only mistake. Another big thing people get wrong is they assume the goal is to automate 100% of the process. It isn't. A lot of the best systems are part workflow, part AI, and part human review. If the task has clear rules and should happen the same way every time, use a deterministic workflow tool like make.com or N8N. If the task requires judgment, variable inputs, or interpretation, that's where AI agents like Claude Cowork can help. And if the output actually matters, add guardrails and keep a human in the loop. That's not a weakness, that's good process design, because the goal is not to build the coolest automation. The goal is to remove friction in a way that's actually reliable. So the real skill here isn't knowing how to just build automations, it's knowing what to automate, what kind of system fits the job, and where a human should still be involved. So how do you actually avoid building automations backwards? Well, I created a simple framework for this that I call CLEAR. The C is clarify the outcome. What problem are you actually solving? Not what cool thing you want to build, not what feature you saw in a demo. What real business result are you trying to improve? Are you trying to reduce lead response time, speed up content repurposing, cut admin work, improve follow-up consistency? If you can't clearly define the outcome, don't automate it yet, because vague goals create bad automations. Next is L, which stands for list the real workflow. What actually happens step by step, what kicks off the process, what inputs come in, what decisions need to be made, what exceptions show up, and where does it usually break. This is where a lot of people get impatient. They want to automate before they understand the real workflow. But if you haven't done it manually enough times, you probably don't understand it well enough to automate it properly. And if you don't understand the process, the automation is basically just guesswork. The next step is E, eliminate unnecessary complexity. Simplify the workflow before you automate it. Clean up messy steps, standardize inputs, remove unnecessary handoffs, tighten the process, because automation should simplify operations, not amplify chaos. If the process is already sloppy, automation just helps that sloppiness happen faster. Next, we have A, assign the right system. This is the piece most people skip. What should be handled by deterministic automation, what should be handled by AI agents, and what should stay with a human? That matters, because once you break the workflow down clearly, you can start designating the system the right way. Maybe Make or N8N handles the routing, field updates, and notifications. Maybe an AI agent handles summarizing, classifying, or drafting. And maybe a human reviews the final output before anything customer facing goes out. That's good system design, not because it's more complicated, because it actually fits the job. And finally, we have R, which is to review with guardrails. Add alerts, add approvals, add checkpoints, monitor outputs, and ask the question that actually matters. Is this actually helping? Is it saving time? Is it improving quality and reducing errors? Or does it just look impressive? Because not all automation is useful automations. Sometimes you've just built activity, and activity is not the same as leverage. Automation multiplies whatever you feed it. If the process is clear, the systems fit the task, and the guardrails are strong, automation creates leverage. If not, it creates cleanup, wasted time, burned credits, and abandoned workflows. And that's why most AI automations quietly fail. Not because the AI is bad, because people automate the wrong thing before they understand the process and with the wrong system. So before you build the next shiny workflow you saw online, ask yourself 4 questions. What problem am I solving? Do I understand this process deeply enough? Is this deterministic, or does it require judgment? And finally, what should be handled by rules, and what should be handled by AI, and what should still be checked by a human? Because the goal isn't to build the coolest automation. The goal is to build something that actually helps. And if you want help figuring out the right problems to automate, the right tools to use, and how to actually design systems like this for your own business, check out my community, The Leverage Lab. That's where I break down real automation systems, walk through different tools, and help members figure out what actually makes sense to build and what isn't worth automating yet. Check the link in the description if you want to learn more about The Leverage Lab. And if you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe, because I break down systems like this every week. In fact, check out this video right here that breaks down another hot AI trend that's happening right now. I'll see you in there.